What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black, S-T-E-V-E-E, the Black. I'm back, and I'm here to give you my Monday Night Raw review. Let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right in it. So, Raw kicks off with Randy Orton. He's in the ring. He's talking about how he challenged Edge last week, and when he did, he saw the fear in his eyes, and that, you know, while he admits the better man did win at WrestleMania, it was a fight. And here in WWE, what do? We wrestle. And he even said, hey, WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. So then this draws Edge out. Edge comes out and he's like, again, you know, this is not, you know, this, I love this. You know, this was never your first choice. This was like your backup plan, everything, and I love this. It took me 9 years to get back here. Basically, all the stuff he said before in the past. But Orton wasn't hearing any of it. He was like, do you want this match? Yes or no? Answer my question. And Edge says yes. He answers it. And very awkwardly, Randy Orton just smiles and leaves, man. Thought it was a pretty good opening segment, although Edge repeated all the stuff that we've heard all before and everything like that about Orton not really loving this and doing it for the money and stuff. I thought he kind of sounded like John Cena a little bit when he said that. You know how John Cena used to do those old promos. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. Next up, we have Seth Rollins come out, and he explains his actions for what he did last week to Rey Mysterio. He basically said after losing Drew McIntyre, he was lost, and, you know, he didn't know what he was going to do until he had a revelation and a light. And I thought he was going to say the birth, you know, finding out Becky Lynch was pregnant. But, you know, whatever. Stick with your story, whatever. He says it wasn't until Ray, you know, basically smacked him in the gut that he realized, he snapped back out of it and took all of it out on Ray, and that Ray should not feel angry. He should feel happy and all that stuff like that. Eventually, that brings out Humberto Carrillo, who says, yo, you're a fake, you're phony, that was my mentor, he's a legend, you're nothing, let's go me and you. Seth's like, nah, bruh, I'm in some regular clothes, you can't fight me, but here, you can fight my disciple here. So he and Murphy have a match. They have a pretty good match. And the theme of the night is very short matches. I mean, matches maybe went 5 minutes, less than 10 at the most for all of them, except for the main event. The match ends when Seth mildly distracts Humberto long enough for Murphy to hit his Murphy Law and for the win. Then he starts beating him down some more until Aleister Black comes out for the save, and he and Rollins escape. So there we go with that. Next we have Charlotte Flair coming out. Again, just bragging about how she's the best and all that stuff. And her match, promoting her match Friday night against Bayley, and then she brings out Ruby Riott, who they're gonna have a match together. Match again, very, very short, pretty good for what it was though. Ruby was working on Charlotte's arm all night until eventually Charlotte got into figure eight. Didn't even have to use her right arm, which is the one that was targeted all night, and ends up winning. Charlotte Flair. I have nothing against Charlotte. I love Charlotte. I think she's a phenomenal worker, but Charlotte Flair. Next up, we have Asuka. She's in the ring with Kairi Sane. They're celebrating her championship victory, basically bragging that, yeah, you're a Grand Slam champion. You won every single title in WWE there is to win for a woman. You've done that. You're the best. Nia Jax comes out and says, look, you don't really deserve to be champion because you were handed that belt by Becky Lynch because she's pregnant. And when I beat you for that title, I'm gonna, you know, make it legit or whatever. So Asuka attacks her, which and knocks her out the ring, which forces Nia Jax to leave. Then later on in the back, she's creepily watching Kairi Sane, and eventually takes her out. And so obviously they're building towards Asuka versus Nia Jax, probably at Backlash for the Raw Women's title. Interested to see how that match goes out. Next up, we have Lashley and R-Truth. So Lashley isn't teamed up with MVP yet because he says, once again, he's fighting people he has no business fighting. Instead of fighting R-Truth, you should be fighting for the championship, you know, which you haven't had a shot at in over 13 years, I believe it was. And so he goes out there, he has his match with R-Truth. Again, another short match. Truth tries to do Pretty Ricky, but doesn't work as a distraction. So Bobby Lashley hits a full Nelson slam, then followed by another full Nelson for R-Truth for the tap out. And then MVP comes out and they go in the back and said they're going to have a conversation. And then we see Lana, she in the back, and she's screaming and throwing stuff around, and Lana, and all that screaming, bro. You hurt my ears, bro. Next up, we have Bliss Cross Applesauce taking on the Iconics for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Again, another short match. Bliss Cross started off strong, going at the Iconics with everything. Eventually, things slowed down. It looked like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were going to retain the titles, but Peyton Royce picked her up and started slamming her into the post over and over again. The referee telling her to stop, she wouldn't do it, so that caused a disqualification, and now they're all sad. And then in the back, it was just an interesting part, because I didn't think they were going to take the titles off Alexa Bliss and them, because I'm like, they just won the titles. There's really no need for them to take it off, you know? So then in the back is where the interesting thing happened, where Peyton Royce's what's her name? I can't remember her tag partner's name, but she slaps her in the face. And in a moment, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." So clearly, right there, that was done for some reason. Maybe they're gonna split up. I mean, again, they were going for 7 months and said that they were repackaging them. So maybe the repackaging is them splitting apart. I don't know, but why? I don't know, because there is not a lot of Raw. There's not a lot of tag team women in the WWE as there is, so should keep them together, but interesting to see where this goes. Next up, we had Natalya taking on Shayna Baszler in a submission match. Thought it was a pretty good idea, and for the most part, I really enjoyed the match. I thought the match was pretty good. You know, all throughout the match, Natalya's trying to put the sharpshooter in on Shayna, but she keeps escaping until finally she does. And in the submission matches, there's no rope breaks, and so literally Shayna has to crawl and fall out of the ring to escape. Natalya gets you back in the ring. They start brawling some more until eventually Shayna gets the Kira Fluda clutch on her. She locks it in. I thought it would have been better for Natalya to pass out like Steve Austin style, but nope, she taps out. And then after the match, funny part is you see the crew in the background. They're setting up for the Kevin Owens show, and Natalya's still in the ring. She hasn't left yet. She's throwing another temper tantrum. So again, clearly building up something towards that. What? I don't know. Maybe a heel turn. We'll see. But as they're setting up, they're like, "Yo, what you doing, bro?" So she finally notices it, and she starts destroying stuff. She's like throwing the sign and the chairs out the ring, and they never even fixed the ring. They didn't even fix anything. So she just does that and leaves. And so then Kevin Owens comes out, and all this stuff is still on the floor. They didn't fix it. They just left that way. So I'm like, okay. So Kevin Owens comes out. He says, you know, he hasn't been seen since WrestleMania because, you know, he got injured, but he's back. He's healthy. He's 100%. And he brings out his guests, which are Selena and her group, which before Kevin Owens came out, they were once again in the back arguing. But here's the interesting part, which was teased, because she says, we're going to go out there, and we're going to be a cohesive unit, okay? She says to Andrade. Andrade says, I'm the champion. He says, great. She goes to Austin. She goes to Angel Garza, and he's like, hey, of course I'm with you. And then she goes to Austin Theory, and she's like, you understand? He's like, yes. And she's like, yes, what? And he's like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, okay. She didn't make anybody else say yes, ma'am, so what's up with that? So then they go out. She says that they're a cohesive unit. They're one. And, you know, there's nothing going on until Kevin Owens is like, all right, that's cool, but I got one more guest. And the guest is Apollo Crews. He's back after injuring his leg and costing him his spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So a brawl breaks out, and we get a tag team match between Kevin Owens and Apollo Crews taking on Andrade and Angel Garza. The match ends when Zelina tries to distract the referee. Theory gets on the rope to try to help his teammates up, but it goes wrong, allowing Crews to pick up the win for his team. After the match, they all turn on him. Zelina Andrade and Angel Garza, they just turn on Theory just right there in the spot. Like, it was obvious, like I said, it was teased earlier before the match and segment and everything. They just turn on him and jump him and basically tell him he's worthless and doesn't need to be there and all that stuff like that. So, wonder what's going to happen next. Oh, wait. Next up, we got Aleister Black first taking on Murphy. So they're having a match. You know, every time these guys get in the ring, they're magic. But that's not the focus. The focus is the fact that Austin Theory is still out there sitting on the ground in the timekeeper area. And, of course, the moment I saw them, I'm like, oh, I know what's going on here. So Seth Rollins goes over to him. Basically, they hug, they shake hands, and he gets in the ring, and Theory and Murphy beat down Aleister Black. And then he's now in the group. And to me, it kind of looked like Murphy was a little bit jealous. But that could just be me making things out. But Austin Theory is now in the group with Seth Rollins. So, you know, I guess they needed somebody to replace, you know, the other two guys. I can't remember their name. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a horrible day. That were formerly on Seth Rollins' team. Let's see, where are we at now? Oh, yes. So, you know how last week we had a basketball game between the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders? Well, this week it was the Viking Raiders' turn to call the shots, and they picked an axe throwing competition. Oh my God, they actually think they're Vikings. I thought we were done with this kind of stuff. But no, so we have an axe throwing contest, and basically the rules are you got to hit the bullseye, and that's how many points you get. Obviously, the Viking Raiders are great, and they're there with a whole bunch of other Vikings, and the Street Profits are terrible. Eventually, on the last try, they get it in, but then the officers show up, and they're like, yo, what's going on here? You know? They got an axe thrown in their windows. They're like, okay, whoever threw this axe, we know who did it. So Dawkins throws the axe, and he throws it backwards, and it goes into the bullseye, and everyone is just celebrating with him. They're like, yeah! But shouldn't that be when the cops go, all right, we know it was you, let's go. But no, what happens instead is the cops are like, all right, I'm going to let you go with the warning this time, but only because I think you're cute, and you're not. And I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, what? Now, unlike the basketball game last week, which was funny, this one, while it was funny in some parts, was just more like, come on, you know that wouldn't happen. Like, there is times where you suspend disbelief, and then there are times where it's like, really? Would cops really do that? Would they? I don't know. And if you're throwing axes, that's like everybody going to jail, you know? But whatever. And then finally, we had Drew versus Corbin. Before the match can start, Bobby Lashley and MVP come out, and Lashley says, look, I'm your next challenger for the WWE title, and I'm going to win it by any means necessary. Corbin and Drew then have their match. Pretty good. Best match of the night, because theirs went longer than... Actually, no, it didn't. Their match was like 7 minutes. But it was a good 7 minutes, because they still had the best match of the night. In the end, Drew hits the Claymore, no surprise. I'm surprised that they didn't bring up any history between the three, because we all know this was the group that constantly kept teaming up together to take on the Shield. But that never got brought up. I don't know why. Maybe it will next week on Raw, but they didn't get brought up tonight. But that's basically Raw. Last week, I thought Raw was great. I thought it was a pretty good show. I gave it a B. This week, though, major opposite direction. Like, this getting a D. And I don't ever give things an F, and I don't think it was that bad of an F to get an F, but, I mean, I was mostly on my phone most of the time. I wasn't really paying attention. Like, I'm like, I gotta watch this because, you know, it's for YouTube and for my viewers and stuff, but most of the time I was on my phone because, like, this was not interesting at all. Not a very good show. But that's pretty much my thoughts on Raw. Let me know what your thoughts on Raw are in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it. Damn, I wish I had something else to talk about, but I don't. Nothing Eagles related, no nothing. Man. Alright. Until next time, and if you're not down with that, I've just got 2 words for you. Peace out, and now I guess I'll see you Saturday for oh no. There is an announcement to make. This Saturday, yes, you will get my SmackDown review, but this Saturday/Sunday, because I split the pay-per-views up into 2 days, WrestleMania 14, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I've been looking forward to this. It's been pretty hyped up. I cannot wait to watch it and then review it. Obviously, Austin and Shawn. You got Taker, Kane. I think they're doing Owen Hart and Triple H. So a lot of matches I'm looking forward to. I cannot wait to watch it. WrestleMania last year, WrestleMania 13, that show was garbage, except for the Austin Bret Hart match. And I mean, obviously, I'm an Undertaker fan, so I enjoyed the fact that he won the title. But other than that, the pay-per-view was garbage. But I'm looking forward to WrestleMania 14. We'll see if it's going to live up to my expectations. And that's coming out this coming up Monday. So look forward to that. And if you're not down with that, I've just got 2 words for you. Peace out. That's it, guys.